Gemini Vyas welcome you on behalf of KCG. Thank you for spending your time and coming to KCG, and it will be a pleasure to hear you, sir.
Thank you.
Just a brief introduction to the participants. Today's speaker is Dr. Marzun Jokhi, who is a principal faculty of commerce at a very well-known university of our Gujarat. I must say Gujarat, or it might be India also, at GLS University. So, sir, we are very much lucky to have you, sir.
Thank you, sir.
I am handing over to you, sir.
Good afternoon, everyone. First of all, thank you very much to KCG. A very special thank to Dr. Jayendra C. Jadhav, sir. And thank you to Dr. Jaimini, ma'am, for all the coordination. Thank you so much, ma'am.
My pleasure, sir.
The topic on the discussion that I will be sharing with you today is accounting trends in borderless world. I think from the last 6 or 7 months, maybe from March, we have realized how important the technology is and probably going to be in the near future. Before I share with you regarding the accounting trends and the technology and the evolution, first of all, a very happy Sardar Patel Jayanti to all of you. Okay, now starting with the topic for the discussion, if you see the two pics visible, towards your left, you will consider this gentleman what we call, probably even in the movies, we call him, in Gujarat probably, we call him Mehtaji, the accountant, the traditional accountant. And as of today, the shift has come from that typewriter, that person who used to do the number crunching, to a very modern, a very, we can say, updated technique, which is called a robotic process automation. Today, good companies have started applying RPA, that is robotic process automation, where that very similar type work, they will prefer to get it automated rather than involving the human hours and time for doing it. So as it is visible that when we started learning the subject, we studied as if that accounting is a business language. But gradually, from centuries, we can say, it has been evolved, it has been changing. And now we are required to update ourselves in a very rapid moment. Otherwise, sorry to say, but individually also and as a profession, we might take the dinosaur route, that is towards the extinction. The original, I'm just talking about first the evolution and then we go to the new techniques that have been evolved. If we go to the history, before the computers and before the calculators, the calculation invention of abacus, as per the recorded, I think it is nearing to 600 BC in China. That was the first recorded use of abacus. We are just trying to first track the evolution and then we go into the modern technique about it. After this abacus, then came the calculator, the invention of calculator. So accounting has changed. Through ages, it has changed. The earlier one was fully manual. In the next phase, we got some help of the machine, but even that was restricted. I can say that machine was helpful, definitely, but it was restricted only to numbers, nothing more beyond it, nothing more beyond. Because business as a function as a whole, it is something so different. So recording entry was not possible, but the recorded entries and total and all that, we can manage it with the help of the calculator. Then came the revolutionary, we can say, product. And the whole accounting profession changed drastically with this advent of computer. So the original size of the computer we all know as per the history, and now the modern one, like just a small wallet type. So that is also changed drastically. So we are evolving. Though this was a revolutionary product, then it became evolutionary. And now there are Me Too products also. So many. After the computer, then after the hardware, that is what we can say, we got the software part of it. And this Microsoft Excel, when it came, I think the person who were involved in the accounting part of it, of the business, they were really excited that so much of their work was the labor and the pain they used to take was reduced. And with robotic process accounting and automation, even that will be. When we go to that part, you will also agree to that. So after the hardware, we got the evolution of the software. So basically this software let the calculators out. The abacus got out with calculator, with the computers coming in and the software inbuilt. So this way, we can say the evolution has happened. Now no longer we will be having this type of gentleman in our office doing number crunching. That number crunching can be done with the automation without the help of an individual. So I think the Mehtaji concept probably has gone, eliminated, we can say. Again, the technology, what roles as an accounting professional that we have played and we should play. I think it is right time to come out of a very stereotyped typical accountant who is basically a number cruncher. But the roles have to be evolved, and they have actually evolved. Now the accountants are not only helpful for the accounting operations, only for the preparation of the account, not only for the external reporting that can be taken care even by the software and the auditors, management accounting, management support, strategic cost management, strategic decision making. And see, because of this technology, even the individual and the profession has grown. We can take it that way. So not only we as an individual are evolving and growing, but even the profession is growing for the accounting and the commerce part with the advent of the computers and the latest technology. Traditionally, how the accountants are spending time and have spent, and actually what they should do. If you check this classification, this is from a report. Whatever I'm sharing over here today, majority portions I have taken from various accounting reports that are being produced by the big four chartered accounting firms and different government agencies also. Over here, if you focus so much of time, too much of time we can say from this diagram, the accountants are devoting to the basic accounting operation. I think now the time is that this accounting operation can be taken care with the automation. It is time that we should devote our time for the management support and the management accounting activities rather than the accounting operations and the reporting. Now, this is what the different parts of, we can say that the accountants will behave in different situations. What my friends think what I'm doing, what my parents think, what society think, what I should be doing actually. Now, a very important question. Based upon this evolution, right from the traditional individual being the number cruncher to the modern software. Now, what next? The visible picture is telling us the story. Now, not only the machines will be replaced, but sorry to say, even the human are going to get replaced with the bots, that is the robots. We all know the father of accounting from last centuries, so many. The double entry system of bookkeeping has evolved. That is fine. But Deloitte, again the big four, has come out with a report, and the report mentions that are we ready for the next wave of innovation? Because the robots are coming. And when robots will take place, snatch away our place as a traditional accountant, then the question will be that where are we going to find ourselves? So it is right time, and this last 7 months have actually taught us so many things. And I think we can take it a positive way, that we have learned so many good things and we know much, but much more is left. We can take it that way. Now, this is a very difficult survey data that we can digest. I really mean it. This data is the survey conducted by PwC. It is again one of the big four accounting firms. Now, they have given the probability. Probability of what? Probability that who will be losing the job due to automation. Even the picture is self-explanatory. Now, when we go down to check the numbers, the probability highest will be 1, lowest will be near to a 0. So, recreational therapist, probability of job loss due to automation is a very, very minimum percentage, 0.003, and same for the dentist. But if you come down to the data, and if you see to the second last, where you will be able to read, I don't know about the visibility, where you will be able to read the accountants and auditors, and the probability is 0.94. Now, this is really shocking. This is really surprising. And this is an official data that is reproduced by PwC. So there are chances in the future that 94% of the jobs of accountants and auditors will go away because of automation. Now, this is so difficult. So irrespective of whatever qualification one has, if one is not able to, we can say, embrace the technology, understand, adapt it, get ourselves updated daily, regularly, on a very regular basis, we will find ourselves out of the business. This is too scary. And basically focusing on accountants and auditors, there are others also. Again, in data given by US Today. And when we, again, the same thing they are mentioning, that what will be the percentage of the jobs that will be lost. That is fine. But surprisingly, I will like to read the last paragraph of this human replacement part. And it is so very specifically, and again, it is a scary that what are our children learning today and where are they going to go? While the old jobs, I'm reading that last part, while the old jobs will be replaced, the new ones will be created. That is 100%. That is the nature. 65% of the children entering today in the primary school now are expected to end up working in the roles that currently do not exist. It means that whatever, suppose a child is studying today, this indicates that he is going to do something different. Then are we providing a proper education also? Are we imparting proper education to the child? Are we able to visualize that what is going to happen probably after next 10 years, 15 years, 20 years? I think we will have to cultivate that vision. We will have to try our best. Now, see, in college, when we were as a student, and probably as now we all being faculty member, when we are teaching the students, if you go to the financial statement analysis part, I think we are teaching what? We are teaching horizontal analysis, we are teaching vertical, and we teach ratio. Fine. Then we also teach trend, all that. That is okay. Accept it. But I think the time is now to teach them. So I've kept this part as a classical approach. I'm not using the word historical or a sunk word, but a classical approach. So word is also sounding good and we can realize it is traditional. I think it is now the time to guide the students that there are certain good modern mathematical approach which are possible. Because ratio, today's generation is so smart that they can, probably what I feel, that they can memorize all 20, 25, 30, 40, 50 ratios in probably very quickly, we can say. But unless and until first we understand and we guide them for some modern mathematical approach, it is going to be difficult. Then I think we should take the blame and we should be the reason of that 65%. The child is not the reason. I think then we should be the reason. Okay, one such analysis I'm going to share with you. Actually, my doctoral study also based on the fraud analysis. So in that accounting fraud, the reasons and all that finding. So in that, while going to the literature review, I also realized it is not that I knew it from my school day. No. Based on the literature review, I realized there is something called Benford's Law. Now, this is a modern mathematical analysis. We can do a current ratio, working capital and capital gearing, fine, that is okay. But this Benford Law is giving us some new idea, a new clarity. And this is the analysis of frequency of the digits in every transaction. Frequency, it means suppose in a business, so many transaction numbers different. Suppose you are buying a product of 1,200. You are purchasing another product for 3,450. Petrol expense of 500. Miscellaneous expense for the refreshment, etc. 150. So these are the digits. Now this Benford digital analysis, this Benford law is going to make us realize that we need to check the frequency of the digit in every transaction. And from that, it is a time-tested model. And there are certain conditions, fine, that when we go and read that, you will realize it. But then we can understand that suppose out of 500 transactions given, if you are applying this law, this digital analysis method, I will go to that extent being a technique, you will be able to understand that where are the red flags. It means that out of this 500 transaction, as an auditor or as a management, on which transaction you should focus, that there is a suspicion, there is a possibility of fraud, chances of fraud. And it goes like this. Just 1 minute. I think the last, my screen is, there is a, just a minute. Now, this is a practical example I'm just going to share with you. See the transaction, forget the reading part of it. See the transaction will start from digit number 1. Okay, it will not start from 0. And as a first digit. See, I have kept over here the first column title. Forget the paragraph given on the top. Okay. The first column title is first digit of the transaction. Okay. So the first digit of the transaction will be either 1 or 2 or 3 till 9. It won't be 0. Second, third, fourth, fifth can be 0 or can be any other number. Okay. Number of transactions actually. So what we did, we took a company where there were around 7,000 transactions. Okay. Now out of this 7,000 transactions, we checked that transactions starting with digit 1. So there are 1,000 transactions. It means that out of 7,000, 1,000 number of transactions are starting with digit 1 in the first place. So that amounts to 14%. So out of all the total transactions that are there in this company during the year or during any time period, 14.28% transaction are starting with number 1 in the first place. It means it can be 1,200, 1,023 or 1,24,000 or a 13 rupees, like that. First digit should be 1. Same way, second, third, fourth, ninth. So these are the actual percentages of a transaction that we can find from our business data, and that is going to be easy with the help of the Excel. With the first digit we sort it and we take the total and then we find the percentage. That is fine. Okay. Now what this Benford has given? Benford has given you, just like we have a log table, we can say we have a table for the annuity part or the chi-square time tested model. Same way, this is given by Benford. Okay. Now what is Benford given? See, digit 0 in the first place, not possible. So there is a dash. Digit 1, I'm going vertically down. Digit 1 in the first place, Benford says there are 30% chances, 30.10%. Digit 2 in the first place, 17.60%. Digit 3 in the first place, 12%. Then not only first place, we can check up the second place, third place and fourth place. So digit 0 can come in the second place also. So if it is 1,023 rupees, then 0 is in the second place. So there are 11% chances. We took only the first place data. So now what we are doing, I will just turn back to the previous slide. See, for understanding, digit 1, in our actual transaction, 14% transactions were there, which were starting with digit 1 in the first place. Benford table says that 30% transactions is the maximum possibility that should start from digit 1 and so on. Okay. So now in the next slide, I have kept both these columns, our actual column and the time tested Benford Law column. And then when we do this, see, digit of transaction 1 to 9, actual frequency is our percentage. Okay, the percentage sign is missing, but it is a percentage, and the standard frequency. Now, if you check this carefully, digit 1, 14% of our actual transactions started with 1, and the standard says there should be 30%. So we are well within the standard. Actual is within the standard. But if you focus on transaction starting with digit number 3, digit number 4, digit number 5, digit number 8, and digit number 9. Again, I repeat, 3, 4, 5, 8, 9. Your actual frequency of transaction is higher as compared to standard. This means that if you are an auditor, if you are the management, okay, or if you are the controller, you should focus on those transactions. You should scrutinize, you should investigate those transactions in the 7,000 of the company's example that we have taken, that are starting with digit 3, 4, 5, 8, and 9. And there are chances, there is a possibility that these are your potential risk area and there is a suspicion arised. Now, I never knew that this is a technique available. I don't know whether you agree to me or not, but I was unaware. I was unaware. And like such, there are so many other good modern mathematical technique that can be helpful and useful, because now try and understand the geography has become history. The borders are gone. You can very well, without visa today, as of today, without a US visa, you can do the work sitting back home in Ahmedabad. There is no need of a visa. You can be employed for a US company sitting back in India. But we need to get ourselves updated with, like just one example, a technique we tried over here. Now, every technique or every law or every method will have their own conditions. And the condition of this Benford is that minimum, at least there should be 300 transaction. And definitely, if you pick up any smallest of the smallest business, these are transaction. So even salary paid, electricity bill paid, purchase, miscellaneous expense will amount to transaction. And 100% there will be minimum 300. So I will go to that extent. For any given business, this law can be applied. This law can be applied. And we only check for the first digit. It can be also checked for the second, third, and fourth also. So actually, this is a nice one. You can try it out somewhere, sometime, somewhere. Same way, though it is not directly linked to accounting, but it is indirectly linked. The next couple of new checkpoints, and you will realize it. In the world over here, not in India only, in the world, to checksum algorithm. Now, when we use the word checksum, this indicates that the algorithm that we are using, it has itself one checking parameter in it. And they are Luhan's algorithm and Verhoef algorithm. And very practical, whatever debit and the credit cards that we have, that 16-digit number that has been generated with this technique of Luhan's algorithm. And our Aadhaar card, what we feel is a 12-digit. Actually, it is not. We'll be sharing you very soon. So there are counting-wise, it is 12. That has been technique developed based upon this Verhoef algorithm. Now this Luhan, we don't go into such detail. This Luhan's algorithm is a modulus 10 or a mode 10 algorithm. We don't go into detail. Okay. But how this can be useful. Suppose in a company, there are so many debit card, credit card transactions happening. Now, there is a technique. See, actually, we are not in the actual classroom. Otherwise, I request a participant, a colleague, to take out his debit credit card, share the number, sometimes the wrong number, sometimes the correct one, and then we'll guide you to check the technique that whether the number that you have shared is a correct number or a wrong number. Over here, I have kept over here a 16-digit number. Okay, so see 5526 4329 0720 4746. This is a 16-digit, maybe a debit card or a credit card number. Now there is a technique of checking. What we will do is that from the right, concentrate. From the right, we should skip the first one. It means, see, if you go to your right, the last digit is 6. 6 I am skipping. Then the second last should be doubled. So 4, it is double to 8. Then I skip one more. The next I double. 4 double to 8. I skip one more. 2224. I skip one more, 000. Then I skip one more, 2224. I skip 3, 4228. I skip 6, 2224. I skip 5, last 5, 2210. Okay. And then in the last column, what I'm going to do is, now we start from the left. 10. 10 is a 1 plus 0, 1. Then I will bring the top 5 in the third column. Then 4 I am bringing. Then I bring 6 from the top. Then 8 I bring down. I bring 3 from the top. 4 I bring down. I bring 9 from the top. And so on I continue. So now I am with the third column. Now this third column should be total. Means 1 plus 5 plus 4 plus 6 plus 8. This last should be total. And if this total is ending with a 0, it means suppose this total ends up to 60 or 70 or 80 or 90. Then your debit or credit card number is correct. If the total ends up to 53 or a 67 or a 78, the given debit credit card number is incorrect. This is your Luhan's algorithm mentioning. Same way for our Aadhaar card, the Verhoeven algorithm technique has been applied. See how technology is giving us an challenge, we can say. And that has been created by one of us. And actually this Aadhaar card, which we feel that it is a 12 digit. Yeah, counting wise it is 12. But actually it is a 11 digit. The 12th is the checksum, what we checked earlier. That is a checksum. So what is the checksum? If you go and read the third paragraph, 2 lines. The checksum is the last digit, that is the 12th. In the number series of a number through which the data entry errors can be eliminated to a large extent. It means the moment you press the 12th digit, you will realize that there is an error in the entry of your Aadhaar card. So it is not that after 12th we are realizing. If there is any error in the first 11 digit, the 12th digit will give you an idea. So that is the reason this are the checksum technique so important. Aadhaar card definitely won't find a place in our accounting record. But the debit credit card understanding of Luhan's algorithm. Now this is just I am sharing what I also learned while doing my doctoral study. I'm just sharing with you. Means these are so many good techniques which are available that we will have to understand it, whether we like it or not. Another good research. Probably this happened, if I'm not wrong, there were 3 researchers in 2013. I'm forgetting the name. Sorry, actually I should have mentioned over here. It is 2013 research. See, we all know this gentleman, the owner of Satyam. Okay. Now, whatever this 108 GVK, that is a real good concept, 108. The brainchild is this gentleman. Okay. Then what happened to him, that I also don't know. Why he got involved in that activities and all that, we don't know. We don't go into that details, but we try and understand that again how there is one accounting technique that can help us. And this I am mentioning this as a new weapon in the hands of auditor. See how accounting is cutting across the borders. There is over here, the researcher has checked what? They have not checked the numbers. They have not checked the ratio. They have checked over here the top management language. And language from where? From the reports. See, every time the chairman will have to give a report in the shareholders report. Outstanding analysis has been done with this 3 researcher. What they have done is, they have checked the language of the chairman's letter. And in that letter, they could find that from this year, the tone, the language, the message in the report started changing. What they did was, I'm just taking it in brief. There were 4 complementing analysis used. One was for the tone. One was for the personal pronouns. We don't go into the depth. One was for a positive and a negative emotion. And it has been checked by a software program. It is available online. Diction 5. What it is going to do, it is going to check your verbal tone and the text. And from that, there will be the derivations. Actually, what this gentleman did, probably in the initial years, when fraud was not probably in his mind, that what I can understand, if you check the reports, he was boasting with numbers that the company, Satyam company, has given 40% dividend. I'm just giving you representative numbers. 40% dividend. Our sales have increased to by 40%, something like that. Gradually, when he got involved in those unwanted activities, that number reference gradually started decreasing. The boasting of he started shifting the blame to others. And this 5 years report analysis made us realize that even when the person who is getting involved gradually and slowly, he will try to certainly shift the blame away from him to another one and see what he was and what happened to him. And these are only 3 basic research analysis I have kept over here. In the starting, Mr. Raju was writing the report with the proud letter I, and then he gradually started shifting the blame and he started using the word we. The positive tone also got increased from the arrogance, and the number reference got decreased. In his last report, probably there was no number reference, what they have proved over here. Now, this is again an outstanding technique. We are not checking ratio, again I repeat, but we are checking the top management language, and we can realize there is a red flag. There is a red flag. Definitely, the technology, the innovation, we have to live with it. But as per the report, 41% of the CFO has cited the reason that actually this technology is giving them stress and they have to manage stress. Definitely technology will give stress, but we will have to find the way out for managing it. Next comes your artificial intelligence. How it is going to be helpful in accounting and finance. What we checked till now, it was actually not artificial intelligence. It were some mathematical, modern, scientific techniques. Now, once this artificial intelligence comes, probably by next 10 years, we don't know what is going to happen. I really mean it. Probably by 2025, as per the report, everything is going to be digital. We are not going to find even a book in a hard copy, the new ones, by 2025. Now, these are the emerging technologies to be considered for our accounting and what we say for the borderless world. Not for the ratio, not for the horizontal or the vertical analysis. These are just to name a few. If someone wants to undergo a doctoral study or research, probably here is one of the topics we can pick up for our accounting and commerce. Won't be able to take up all, but just for the few, I'm going to briefly share with you. Artificial intelligence and robotics. In the starting, we talked about the robotic process automation. Now, there are certain learning systems like ARIA, the pronunciation can be different, and Deloitte already mentioned earlier what they say. PwC is giving a scary report of 94%. Deloitte says that finance and insurance company jobs, at least more than half, are at highest risk because of automation. And artificial intelligence has been implemented in multiple industries. And Google has singled it out as the next big thing. Now, this is a real shocker, where not a human, but a robot has been granted citizenship in Saudi Arabia, Sofia, in the year 2017. So now try and just visualize that. Where are we heading to? A robot being granted a citizenship, not a human. And in this COVID times, probably in some of the hospital, the robots did a wonderful job. What we say bots, that is coming from these robots. And like that, Kensho, just like Arya, Kensho is again one intelligent computer system. So the human hand is going to be replaced. Advantage, this hand can work 24/7, 365 days a year. There won't be any holiday, maybe any function, any ceremony, any occasion. They can work 24/7. Arya has developed a natural language generation software. What we discussed, no vacations they will be taking. They're going to work 365 days a year, non-stop. So we can say, just like we work for 8 hours a day, the 9th hour we get exhausted and the chance of mistake increase. They are going to work 24 hours, so triple shift without any mistake. So if you take 1 month, if we work for 1 month, in 1 month they are going to work 3 months work, and that too without mistake. The KPMG, all big fours have actually predicted, and they are very sure. And there are so many different analyses and techniques. And what this one Watson technique analytics, suppose if you are given a project of 50 pages to study and analyze, I'm sure being a human, we will need some time. We will need some time. And we have to be very fresh to understand and critically analyze that project report, 50 pages. This technique, even if you're giving it probably midnight, the generation of the report will be so quick and 100% accurate. So even studying and analyzing the reports, human are not required. That is what they are predicting. Now then I feel that then where we will be required? What will be our role then? That is a real worry. I've kept a slide, genuinely I've kept the last slide of my worries. That where are we heading? Robotic accounting. What we just shared in the beginning, again, this is again a good technique where someone want to study in depth. Robotic accounting or robotic process automation, what we say that RPA, that is this part, robotic process automation. I've kept a practical example. Change the names. Consider that one Mr. A is an accounting executive in a company. Now, before this robotic accounting or robotic process automation has applied, before that, what he will be doing, what is his job daily? He has a QuickBook, Excel, PDF invoice from a customer, and Outlook open on his computer. So daily morning he goes, everything on that screen ready. Tension starts early morning. He has to pull out some customer data, the name and the address and the invoice number from the PDF. He then puts in the Excel file. It may be their system of working. He then pastes in the QuickBook, the software. And then the check gets ready. Now this is one customer. Take an example of a company with 100 crore turnover. Maybe they might be having more than 1,000 customers, probably more than that. Different transactions, expense and everything. He will be doing this stereotypical work for years and years. Definitely, there is nothing that he needs to think creative about. And the time and the hours and probably his full life will go away in this copy, paste and making the check. Not only this one individual, maybe there will be a team doing that. Now, if this system is so very specific, then here is the chance we can use the robotic process automation. His life can become simple. You can make a system in such a way that the basic things get automatically copied, pasted, and the checks get generated. Sounds simple. Actually, it is. If you get the system update, actually it is. And by doing that, human hours and hours of the human time can be used for value addition. Hours and hours can be used for value addition. Another one is a simple. This is going to be there for any business, maybe a 10 crore turnover till maybe a 50,000 crore turnover. And more the turnover, higher the level, there will be a team. Suppose there is a team in a company that I can vouch for, I'm not naming it, that there are 20 chartered accountants working in a company where their main job is to concentrate on the reconciliation. Now, if this can be automated, I think the precious time can be saved. And bank reconciliation, 100% can be automated. There can be no other possibility, no other defect for not doing that. This is one such example. What can be automated? Yeah, when there you have rule-based, it should be consistent and it should be template-driven. Now, if you are going to give discount different to different customer, that cannot be automated. Fine, it is okay. But the basic systems can be done. So why can't? These are the different possibilities. So many. These are the potential applications of the robotic process automation. The purchase order, the GST probably, the easiest one that we have the system set. And so many. Advantages. Really, it is advantages. Works 24/7, no sick leave, no casual leave, no EL, nothing like that. There is a reduction in the error rate. It has been proved when they are implemented. We can train the robots, cuts the cost, and so many other advantages. And we can use our time for some value addition. This conclusion only for RPA. Though it is not a physical but a robot, definitely we can set the system properly, and wherever possible, we can get it implemented. Yeah, there are disadvantages, definitely that might come to your mind. I just give you an example that different discount possibility to the customer, not possible with this, I agree. But if you can find out in your company certain things that are the typical stereotype to be done, that can be taken care. By 2030, the artificial intelligence and the accounting profession. We all know the pest analysis, that they are political, economic, the socio-culture, and the technological factors. By 2030, these are the predictions. USA is no longer the world superpower. Power is going to be split between economic, end of extreme poverty. I'm not going into depth of everything, and the rise of the middle class. Social. Important is global literacy rate, or global, it is not India. Global, that is the target, 100%. And population of our country will be more than China. Rapid urbanization. Last is again very important, labor shortage. We have realized in this 7 months also. I think this time is the best judge. Robot soldiers in the army, robot ships. Robotics replace human job. Underwater city. That is all thought for, though they are predicting 2030, I think it is going to happen before that, probably. 3D printing is already there. Electric cars already there. Artificial intelligence is going to make our homes smart. TV already has become smart. Cars are also becoming smart. And this data is again very nicely predicted that in 2016, just before 4 years, the artificial intelligence market was 1.4 billion. But by 2025, just 9 years, so now only 5 years, from 1.4 it is going to become 60. It is going to become 60 billion. And what they predict is artificial intelligence can increase business productivity by 40%. So it will be good that company will cut the amount of workforce, salary payments will go down, and productivity will increase. Now, this is the history of artificial intelligence. I think what we all probably we can recall is Alexa out of this, what I feel so. You all can recall Alexa. That actually, timeline-wise, it was in 2014. Siri also, those who are using Apple. I think out of this, Alexa is the best one. They say the advertisement, if you don't have a Tesla, you have no idea what you are missing. It is a driverless vehicle. And I think this 7 months time, we have used this technology, Netflix. We have realized it, that how useful it was to us in the hard times, in the trying times. Because no new serials and all that came. Netflix was probably a boon to so many of us during this trying time. For the music lovers, Pandora is one of the most popular. Yeah, I think at this point, you might recall that radio of Saregama. That is also a good one. But this we can say it is a DNA of music. And the Nest system, which we can apply at our residence. It will employ a very intelligent machine learning process that will be controlling the temperature and everything, energy saving. And this is all is going to be very soon in the flying drones. So there are some restrictions kept, but these were very useful in these trying times also to catch hold of the violators. And it is going to be very helpful in the education. And we all agree to it. And we can vouch even this effort, an outstanding effort by KCG for this FTP online. This indicates that role of artificial intelligence in education. We have taken the examination at the colleges online. The checking gets online done, not only for the MCQ part, but even at in India, we have the accounting professional institutes of chartered accounting, cost accounting, and company secretary. They have already declared and they will be taking the examinations also in the online platform. And that won't be only for the objective one. And even the checking is already happening at the CA Institute that I can vouch for. This is going to help the seekers of the education and even the imparters or the providers of the education. It is going to be actually a win-win situation. And you can provide much more to the students. Actually, they are very smart. We have a flipped classroom concept, taken it towards the end. That is actually the future. This is how the Indian classroom is going to go forward. Streamlining the education system. Personalized education. Assistance to teachers also. We can get the help. Proctored online assessment. This is so important. You feel that student will be copying when we send a Google from the objective. That is okay. But if it is a proctored online assessment, they won't be able to. There are certain systems. ICWS declared that they are going to take the exam by the system. answer sheet evaluation, not only for the objective, and it is going to be transparent. Cloud computing. Now, what we are actually, the Google, the drive, storage, what is all that? That is a cloud computing. So actually, there is no need of going to the office on a daily basis where you can store your data on the cloud and work from home. So I think now so many startups are coming that they are trying to give you the facility of this cloud accounting, cloud computing also. You can stay back at your place if it is difficult to go to the office, and you can work very easily. You can continue contact with your vendors, your customers, and all the accounting can happen very smoothly. Now, this is the technology that has helped and is going to help and update. So there is actually no need. There was one report probably in the month of March where so many giant companies have realized that have we wasted crores and crores of rupees in the infrastructure? That was a question to ponder upon. That where this 7 months taught them that even the employees don't come to the office, the work can go on. So they have a very critical question to answer. That have billions of rupees been wasted on this huge infrastructure? That is again a question. Blockchain is another technology. It is actually the word, if you can break it, the block and there is a chain. Actually, that word is taken like. They are the digital transactions. And if anything wrong at one part, immediately the transactions get cut off. It is a digital record of the transaction. That is a blockchain. And all this OTP and the password and all that we get, that is with this technology. Try and understand it. And it is actually giving a very smooth transition to our transactions. Had this technology not been adopted, it was probably so difficult in this time. Earlier, if you recall, the clearing of the checks probably took, I can still vouch for, because family members were there in the bank, 5-6 days happened for the clearance of the outstation checks. Sometimes maybe more. But today, if the banks are having this system connected, it can happen in no time. I really mean it. It can happen in no time. Still, in India, all banks have not adopted this system. In 2019, 11 Indian banks, the names are over here, have formed a consortium to introduce and run a blockchain-linked loan system for small and medium enterprise. SMEs have the benefit in our country. And Bank of Baroda and State Bank of India, the reputed ones, even the earlier 11 are also, and IndusInd Bank are involved in this consortium as an outside member. That is fine, no problem. But they have also realized, probably in India, that blockchain is the future of accounting. Now, we are actually not required to study the technique. Try and understand this. That can be taken care by the technologist. But we need to understand how the technique works, and we should have that vision of getting it implemented. But probably first we should know it. That is more important. And blockchain, even in education, we can do an online course today that is with the concept of blockchain. We have a digital knowledge bank. Concept involved is a blockchain. We can demand what we want to learn from the platform. We can demand what we want to give a test for from the platform. We can verify the academic credentials. Technology over here is a blockchain. And what is going to be the impact on higher education? How will the lectures teach the method? lecturers. How the students are going to learn, what we are going to teach, how will the learning space look like, and what are the roles of the lecturer, what will be the role of a student, and what should be the attribute of the students and lecturer. The university of future. There is a new teaching concept, a flipped classroom. Now, what is this flipped classroom? Just to give you an idea, flipped classroom is also known as inverted classroom. Students review lecture material before class has homework. Class time is dedicated to discussion, interactive exercise, and independent work that would have previously been completed at home, all under the guidance of a teacher who is present and available to respond to any question. IIM have the concept of this. The materials reviewed prior to the class can take the form of the recorded lecture, and any material that the instructor assigns is relevant to the topic at hand. So this is our future. We will have to get ourselves accustomed, updated, learn the technique. I think from this we all can agree that by 2020 we have realized so many things. By 2030, the world is going to be a completely different place to live. No one is able to predict, though there were predictions of that artificial intelligence and the accounting profession by 2030. But probably now, every 1 year is something is going to change drastically. 10 years is too long a time. And what I told you, these are my actual worry based upon the recorded data. That while technology is on the whole likely to create more, definitely, more jobs, some industries are likely to lose more jobs to the machine, and that we have that PwC data that new technologies will create. The accountancy profession will shrink as software vendors build progressively more finance expertise. And robotic process automation, the new accounting software, what is the need of the human? And the CFO and all the CEOs and the chartered accountants of the future, they need to know much more about the technology than only the accounting and number crunching and financial management or cost account management accounting. And unlike accountants, unless we adopt the technology, understand the technology, we are going to follow. I really mean it. If I don't understand the new things at a very quick pace, I'm going to go the dinosaur way. Gone, eliminated, individually also and as a profession. And by 2025, all digital data will be available to everybody. There won't be any restriction. And I think technology, and I can add one more thing, research, technology and research, that immediately comes to my mind over here, holds a future in which we have to embrace the change even more. From this, there is a very important question. If an employer has to choose on out of these two options, that he has an accountant who can understand technology, and he has another person who is a technologist who can understand accounting, I'm sure that if you are the employer, you're going to prefer the second option individual as of today, rather than a qualified chartered accountant is of no use if you don't understand technology. Then it is better you have an individual who is an expert in the technology and who can understand a bit of accounting. He can do a better work in this time. That is all from my side. Thank you, everyone. Thank you so much. And I again thank KCG and Dr. Jayendra Jadhav sir for providing me the opportunity for conducting the session. Thank you.
Thank you so much, sir. The
Thank you
session
so much.
was very interesting, and it was a good concept covered by you, majority of the concepts. Thank you, sir. I again thank you on behalf of KCG for sparing your time and being with us.
Thank you so much for providing me the opportunity. I am really thankful to you all, ma'am.
Thank you. Thank you. It was seriously a pleasure to have you as a resource person, sir.
Thank you so much, ma'am.
Okay. Okay. Thank you so much, sir. Thank you to all the participants. Have a good day, sir.